There's only one day till the premiere of Power Book 2 Ghost, so this is my predictions video of what we could potentially see happen in episode 1, as well as how I'll be breaking down the series and my video plans. Welcome to MovieBot, and let's talk the premiere episode of Power Book 2 Ghost. First of all, a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to me, watched my videos, comment and like my videos. Hopefully you know how much I appreciate you guys. So with that said, this is my breakdown of how I'm going to be reviewing Power Book 2, and I'm going to be talking my predictions for episode 1 as well, so make sure you stick around till the end of the video. I'll try and keep this video as short and sweet, as to the point as possible as well. So I'll be releasing my episode review breakdown probably a few hours after each episode airs. So if you don't watch the episode straight away, you can always come back to my channel. My review will always still be here. The following day, I'll probably break down the teaser or trailer for the next episode if we do get one, and either predictions with that video or maybe a predictions video later in the week. Actually, I'll probably do a predictions video within that video. So I'll have the review and breakdown come as soon as after the episode airs, and then a predictions video for the next episode the following day. And I'm also planning on reviewing the original Power series. It won't be a full review of each episode because we already know what happens with each characters and what happens with the series, but it'll be interesting to see the characters from way back in season 1 to what they became and what they are now alongside in book 2 as well. I'm most likely going to combine 2 episodes in one video because reviewing each episode will probably take a while and it's going to be really time consuming. So I'll review 2 episodes and I'll be releasing that every Wednesday or Thursday. I'll keep it to either one of those days, so I'd love it if you guys watch the original Power series along with me, or just share your thoughts on the episode reviews when I do them. But the rest of the days I may or may not do other videos of TV shows like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. It depends how hectic my work schedule is. So now you know my plan, when to expect my videos and what to expect. Let's move on to the episode 1 predictions. Now, as the picture of the video suggests, I think there's unfinished business between Effie and Tariq. I don't know if this will play out in the first episode, but it's got me thinking, considering Tariq's going to be going to Stansfield, I think he's going to bump into Effie there for sure. I think she's studying at Stansfield as well. If it's not the first episode, then it's going to be later on in the series in my opinion. We've not seen her in any of the trailers, or there's no info out there about her being in the first season. But don't forget, this is just my opinion. I'm only going on things by Courtney Kemp, what she's said, or what trailers we've seen and the teasers that they've brought out as well. And I definitely think everything we saw in the trailers and the teasers that they've brought out over the last few weeks, I think most of that will be played out in the first half of the season. I'm sure they've left a lot of stories untold and big stories which are untold. The episode will probably kick off from where we left off, with Tasha getting arrested, telling Tariq that he needs to go to school. We'll see Tasha getting processed into prison, her in an orange jumpsuit, and we'll probably see this image here of her first night in prison when those cell doors lock shut, her crying and breaking down, because that's the first night in prison and it's going to be tough for her, that's for sure. She's going to really struggle at first, but she's going to have to put on a brave face when she speaks to Tariq and Yaz. I think we'll see her really panic because Yaz is only a baby. Yes, she's grown up over the seasons, but still, in her mother's eyes, she's still a baby, and can Grandma Estelle raise Tariq and Yaz? That's what Tasha will be worried about. We see Tariq go to college. As reality hits that he's now all alone, he needs to get his head down and pass college to claim Ghost's inheritance. And I think we're going to see some regret from Tariq's character, maybe not about Ghost's death, but the fact that he's the one responsible for putting Tasha behind bars, because it's actually his fault. So I don't think Tariq is going to waste any time in trying to help his mom, and I think we'll see this being played out in the first episode, where Tariq goes up to Davis McLean and where he asks Tariq to pay him $500k to take the case on. Tariq won't get his hands on this money in this first episode. He's going to be working for Monet for a few episodes. He needs to meet Monet first of all, before he can even get his hands on this sort of cash. And speaking of Monet, I'm sure we'll see her introduced in an epic way. Her first scene has to be a real badass moment when she hits our TV screens. We'll know that the real queen pin has arrived, and that's how I think they'll create her grand entrance. And her son Kane, well, I wouldn't even be surprised if there was someone that was killed off in the very first episode by Monet and Kane, because I think the show will literally lay down the marker from the very first episode that Monet and her son are not to be messed with. And if they do this, it's quite reminiscent of the very first episode of Power, when we first got introduced to Tommy and Ghost. What happened in the first episode? They had this lad Miguel Alvarez, and in the basement of truth, Ghost put a bullet in him, and that really set the tone for his and Tommy's character for the rest of the Power series. And I think they'll do something similar for Monet and Kane's character. They'll have them kill someone or torture someone, just to show us that these characters are going to be a force to be reckoned with. So let's watch out for that. I think there's going to be an epic entrance for Monet and Kane. And well, Ghost's funeral, I think there's going to be 2 funerals, Ghost and Grandma Estelle's later on. But if this is Ghost's funeral, which it looks like it is, I don't know if the image we saw of Tasha going to the funeral is Ghost's or Grandma Estelle's. Personally, to me, it makes no sense that she goes to Ghost, because if she's accused of murdering the man, even though technically she is still his husband, it still doesn't make sense why they would let her out to go to his funeral. But anyway, let's wait and see how that one plays out. I think we'll see that being played out in the very first episode, or if not, then in the second episode. Hopefully they get it out the way in the first episode near to the beginning, because I don't want them dragging on Ghost story on. Let's just move on with the storyline. And not everything will probably play out the way I've said it, it's just my opinion. Those are my predictions for episode 1. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I want to know your predictions for episode 1, so drop me your comments and thoughts down below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you smash the subscribe button. I'll be back for the review or breakdown of the very first episode of Power Book 2 Ghost. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.